Hello, this is Matthew Burrath, MB Frigate, on June 3rd, 2017. Sorry, not June 3rd, June 26th, 2017. I said in my last video that I wasn't going to have another video on June 26th, but here I am. Because I've been thinking a lot within the last 3 hours. Because I'm alone, so I feel lonely and tired. I just went to the store, and on the way home, and it's not something that I just started thinking about on my way home from the store, but because I had actually a few weeks ago or a few nights ago had thought about this topic, but on Facebook I posted something about, being immersed in darkness. Like sometimes you have to be immersed in so much darkness only to see the light ahead of you, to get back up and get to that light and move forward and keep going. Well, I actually kind of lost my train of thought. I have been thinking about oh yeah, that's what my train of thought was. Okay, there we go. So about the darkness, just enough to see the light ahead of you, to move forward, get back up and move forward. And I said that nope, that has nothing to do with it. Because I had another photo, because all of this is on Instagram, so I had another photo where I took a picture of my table in the kitchen, and it was empty and clean and clear and whatever, and I thought, wow, empty chairs, empty tables. It's in times like this that you finally realize how many friends and acquaintances you actually do have. And I was thinking tonight, again, about some of the people that I interact with a lot from my ward, and even from outside of the ward and outside of my of the apartment complex, such as like my life coach and his friends. And I thought, some of these people I think of as friends, and then some of these people I think more like brothers. They're my brothers. My life coach, I see him as brother. Of course, I haven't told him that, and I don't know if he watches my vlogs or not. I have no idea, but I'm not gonna necessarily flat out tell him until I feel like it is okay to tell him, but I think of him more as brother. I see him as brother to me. Like, he's my brother. And then one of his friends, I think of one of his friends that I have been around and interacted with a little bit, and talked with. I mean, not as much as with my life coach did I interact with him, but I have interacted with him and had conversations with him. And the more I think about him, the more I think he's my brother. And then there's another friend of my life coach in his ward that he will refer or will mention interactions with or conversations they've had, and bring some of those points up in our lessons each week. And the way he talks about this person, I don't know what he's like or anything, but and I have seen him before, but not really actually officially, or at least I didn't feel like I officially met him. But the way that my life coach talks about him, I think of him as brother. He's my brother. He is like no brother, like a brother I've always dreamed of. More than just a friend, but a brother. And then Lello, I just met him about a week ago or 2 weeks ago. And he's in my ward. I think of him as brother already. He's my brother. And then I thought about my Elders Quorum president, my current one. And I can't see that same thing in him. For me. I can't see that. When I think about him and interact with him, if anything, he's just a friend. Or an acquaintance. His roommate, whom, like, I think I've interacted more with my Elders Quorum president than I have with his roommate. But I think of his roommate as no. I think of him as a really close friend. And close friend, I don't mean it in the natural or the real way, like of what defines a close friend, but from my own personal way of seeing these things, he's a close friend. And then I thought about a missionary I served with, who's currently in, he's also in the Branbury Apartments, and he, I see him as friend, at least, just friend. But now I get thinking about, what's his name? He's like he and the old Elders Quorum president in our ward seem to be buds, practically. So this person, I think of a really close friend, almost brother, really close to brother, a really close friend. And then now my old Elders Quorum president, I think of him as brother. Who was it? I thought of there was someone, and I'm pretty sure I've already mentioned him. Maybe it was my old Elders Quorum president. I think of him as big brother. Older brother than me, like big brother. Like, I was born after him, kind of older than me. Big brother. And there's one of the counselors to my current Elders Quorum president, and I think of him as could be big brother. I don't know. I've been thinking about that too deep on him. There was another one. We'll say Daniel in my ward. I can see him as brother also. So, I don't know. That's what I've been thinking about lately. And I like it, but I don't. Some of my companions from my mission, I think of them as brother. My favorite companion, it was rough, but he's my favorite companion. And at the beginning, I thought of him as brother. Then eventually it kind of gotten into, it's kind of a weird pattern. First I thought of him as brother, and then I thought of him as a very close friend. And then at the end, especially thinking about it now, even though I struggled doing the work, and he would get frustrated, almost to the point of tears, that in those times, I thought of him as brother. There's another companion Or a district leader, sorry. I thought of him as Big Brother. He was definitely Big Brother. And of course, my mission president, thought of him as Dad, Father. Because he understood. And if he didn't understand, who else would? How insecure I was on my mission. Compared to now. And as I at least since the time I got this new haircut, I've noticed how more confident I am. How more open I am to others. Gotta check. Oh, 20 minutes. I feel depressed right now. I feel depressed. And it's because I don't have people to interact with right now. Oh, there was another person. It's a really weird concept here for this one, because it's someone else in our ward. He kind of looks rough, but I mean kind rough. He's got a mustache and he's got some facial hair and whatever. He looks really good. Well, let's back up a little bit. My home teacher, I think of him as and I just met him a week ago, if not that, less than a week ago, and I think of him as a close friend, a pretty close friend. And then his roommate, who is also my home teacher, and I haven't interacted with him much at all, period. And I look at him and I go, Big Brother. And some of my home teacher's other roommates, I think of them as brother. My feelings right at this moment feel very tender. I could break at any moment. I could break down and cry or something. Just very tender. I don't like that. don't like feeling this feeling as often as I do, for as long as I do. I don't like it. I don't know what to do. Oh yeah, so the one with the scruff and everything, he really weird concept, weird idea of what he is to me. And I like literally just met him this week. And I practically know nothing about him except for that he's a cool person to hang around. Because he happened to remember that night that me and Lelo had stayed up till about 3:30 in the morning. Well, he had also like come out of the apartment, out of his apartment, and stood outside of building 3 with Lelo and I as we were talking, and he started piping in and whatever, and he's a really cool person. But just automatically, as I observed him as he talked and interacted with us, I felt like he's Big Brother. But it's like when you have, let's just say 3 degrees, but within those degrees they have like let's say 3 other or 3 sub degrees within them. And so he's like Big Brother, but he's Big Brother in the degree of more like teacher and father, mentor. I don't know. It's weird. Because he's not quite acquaintance, not quite friend, not quite close friend, and not quite brother or big brother. He's like just beyond Big Brother. But he is still Big Brother. He's still Big Brother. And I am honestly confused. Why these thoughts? Why do I feel this way? Actually, I kind of do know why. But I don't understand, like, well, mentally, I am less mature than I should be if I were not mentally disabled. I'm lower in the maturity level, and so I feel like I'm like a little kid. And I feel like people treat me like a little kid, and like almost like that's how they have to treat me in order for me to understand and get by in life and interact positively with people. But I don't necessarily think that should be done. But well, this has been going on for a while. So I'm going to cut it there. So yeah, Those are just my thoughts. What's going on in my mind tonight? Kind of really what goes on in my mind all the time, pretty much. So, well, anyway. I don't know how to end this. I guess I'll see you in the next video. This is Matthew Burgraff, MB Frigate. Follow your dreams and passions. See you in the next video. Bye.